Oh, Canada inflation jumps to 2.8%. Iran war drives energy surge. So 2.8 is definitely not good. Do I have an inflation? An inflation chart? There's one thing I not saved. Gotta wait for the beep. Canada inflation chart. Here we go. Have a look. So inflation usually hovers. That's the 2% line, right? What? Cam. Okay, so that line's the 2% line. Usually you want to aim for that line or below the line. You can see we were good. We actually had negative inflation there before the COVID hit, and inflation just spiked because of the free money. And then it's kind of with the hot. Then they brought the interest rates up and they brought it back down. And it's been pretty good for the last year. Right there, 2.8. We had another spike. We do not want another COVID style inflation jump. Because inflation is the thing that makes you feel poor. It's what makes your money go less far. And so this is the big thing that makes you feel poor. And so high inflation is bad. Ideally, you want it below 2%. And that's a yearly number, if I'm correct. So this is the inflation, but if this continued for a year, what the inflation would. Okay. Canada's annual inflation rate climbed to 2.8% in April. Statistics Canada reported on May 19th, driven largely by soaring prices at the pump, with energy prices overall surging 19.2% year over year due to the disruption of energy supplies from the Middle East caused by the war in Iran. Core inflation measure tracked by the Bank of Canada, trimmed mean and median annual fell to 2.0 and 2.1% respectively, their lowest in 5 years, suggesting the BOC sees the spike as transitory and tied to external shocks rather than embedded demand pressure. Yeah, it's mostly coming from the war and the oil shock that we see. Transitory? I mean, that depends on how long the war lasts. I haven't heard anything about peace talks lately. Maybe we will see this further on, but like it looks like both sides are strapping in for a long one. Means it may not be transitory. With the Bank of Canada holding rate steady at 2.25 and the Iran conflict showing no clear resolution, Canadians face a prolonged squeeze on transportation and home heating costs. This complicates the current government affordability agenda heading into budget 2026. And it's a direct, tangible economic link between a foreign war and your gas. Yeah, even though Canada, we are a net energy exporter, energy is decided through the global market. And so even if you're a net exporter, you're still at the whims of global energy prices. Even if, as far as I understand, there's no chance of the pumps in Canada running dry. Definitely going to be continued price increase, likely until this war comes to a conclusion. Okay. Ukraine-Canada military drone deal in the works. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky announced on May 12th that Ukraine has begun preparations for a military drone deal with Canada, calling it a very significant expansion of our security cooperation. Ottawa did not officially confirm the agreement, though Zelensky stated 20 countries are already working on similar arrangements. I mean, I think this is just smart. Drones are the future of warfare, in my opinion. We are going to see I think we're going to continue to see advancements in drone technology. They'll probably become fully autonomous at some point and not need people at all. And they are currently what is giving Ukraine an edge over Russia. Like last time I heard, only like a couple weeks ago, Russia was facing their largest casualties yet in the war, month after month, and it was largely because of the new advancements in drone tech. Okay. Ukrainian officials have previously said such deals will supply partner nations with advanced drone technology Kyiv has developed since Russia's full-scale invasion, and may involve joint ventures to construct drones in partnered countries. I like the sounds of that. Like creating a drone manufacturing here in Canada would be good. We keep like I do personally support Ukraine in this conflict. As much as I'd like to see a conclusion to the conflict, I would continue to support our government providing aid to Ukraine, and getting something back, such as drone technology. The aid we supply could be drones that we make, then we can provide a boost to our own economy while at the same time providing aid to Ukraine. And that's just, in my opinion, a win-win. This would mark a significant evolution in Canada's defense posture, moving from donor to active technology co-producer in wartime. It signaled Canada's growing willingness to play a harder edge security role, the implications for NATO commitment, Canada's defense industry investment, and the broader relationships with both Ukraine and Russia. All right, well, I think that sounds like a good idea. Here we go. Canada's Foreign Service cut hitting overseas posts hardest. Canada's Foreign Service cuts are disproportionately affecting positions based abroad rather than those headquartered in Ottawa, according to figures obtained by the Canadian press, raising concerns about Canada's diminishing international footprint at a time of heightened geopolitical complexity. The Carney government's spring economic update announced a phased reduction of approximately 40,000 federal positions by 2029, with $60 billion in projected operational savings directed towards infrastructure and capital investment. Phased reduction. So they're reducing their workforce, and they're putting more money towards infrastructure and capital investment. I mean, I think that's good. It kind of depends on what the 40,000 people were doing. Were they doing something important? Were they not doing something important? If they weren't doing something important, why were they hired in the first place? Okay. Cutting embassy and consular staff abroad weakens Canada's diplomatic intelligence capacity, ability to protect citizens overseas, and influence in multilateral form. Precisely when Canada is trying to diversify trade away from the US and assert itself on the world stage, the optics of cutting foreign posts while claiming global ambition are dark. Yeah, I can see that.